I'll buy you a hot dog next time I see you.
You don't like hot dogs?
No,
What the hell?
I'm just trying to figure out how this thing even works.
My dude eats chicken,
Um,
and that's it.
Chicken's expensive. I ain't buying chicken.
No,
Chicken is not
no,
expensive.
fake chicken. You could go get that $1.49 Burger King chicken fries.
Look, when you ain't got no job, it's expensive.
Damn, y'all flaming me on this could be good.
Yup. Oh, yeah, less than an article fucking roasting Ryan. He said, Ryan, it's gonna be you, because this dude went blind from eating only, like, what was it, like French fries and, bread and something, I don't remember.
So, I'm scrolling through the timeline, and I see this Washington Post article, and it says, teen goes blind, in quotation marks for some reason, from 7-year diet of French fries, white bread, and ham slices.
Well, let's say that's essentially Ryan's diet.
I said Ryan better watch out.
He's already blind enough. Damn, that's probably...
The real reason Ryan wears glasses that are 10 inches thick is because he's been eating fucking chicken and French fries his whole life.
Dude, but I feel like those lines are not parallel.
I don't know about it. It's not good for your health in general. So I assume it's also bad for your eye health.
Yeah, but I don't know that it correlates, guys.
Washington Post is pretty reliable.
I don't know.
Fake news.
My man Jeff Bezos has it out for you.
Yep.
Speaking of the Washington Post, you know who started that shit? My boy Alexander Hamilton. The joke.
I swear to God, if I could kill Alexander Hamilton as a baby, I would.
So, guys, let's talk some football.
Oh, actually, that one was not started by Alexander Hamilton.
No, you dumbass.
Oh my God.
Cancelled.
Let's talk football.
Don't trust any facts.
Alright, so I think we should light this fire and start talking about college football instead of roasting me over chicken. So, Savannah, do you have the games?
I got the games. First up, it's trash, but it is in Middle Tennessee. If you wanted to call it a Middle Tennessee rivalry, but it's not really. Anyways, you have some random team, TSU. We don't know what kind of division they're in. We argued over it for a minute.
We established this.
Oh, I didn't hear anyone come to a conclusion.
OVC.
Okay, OVC team, TSU, is playing at MTSU. It's about 45 minutes from each other. But MTSU is a 26.5 point favorite, so they're planning on winning big.
Hold up, I gotta be a stickler real quick.
What's up?
Why are we not going in order?
Yeah.
I decided to move that one to the first. I forgot to draw an arrow.
Oh my God.
Did it update us? Oh my.
I apologize.
Okay. So let's since MTSU is such a big favorite, maybe we should do like over or under.
Yeah.
For this one, you know what I mean?
Okay. I'm going to say under. Or I'm going to say the TSU covers the spread. Or, y'all know what I mean. I don't think TSU is going to lose by 26.5. But here's my reasoning, guys. Here's my reasoning. TSU's quarterback probably has the greatest story of all time. Just 2 years ago, my man thought he was done with football. He'd hung up the pads. He had, he was living life. He was playing quarterback at Georgia Military College. Had to retire because he got an injury. Then, my man became a plumber. Just fixing people's shit. got a call one day from TSU's coach. Said, "Hey man, you want to come play quarterback?" And he was saying no. He cut his thumb. And he's like, "You know what? Maybe I should accept this offer." And now he's the starting quarterback at TSU. So my man is a real life Mario. He's dealt with shit, literally. I think he's gonna lead them to a close game. Not a win, but a close game.
First off, I thought when you said he was about to have a story, I thought it was going to be inspirational. That is the most mediocre shit I've ever heard.
But it's okay, because it's TSU. They're a mediocre team.
A mediocre comeback story for a mediocre team.
Good night. That's terrible.
Okay, so I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm also gonna say under. I don't think that. I don't think it'll be quite as bad as 26.5 points, but I would still give it like 2 touchdowns and a field goal. But so I'll say under, despite the quarterback's stirring triumph of a comeback story.
Dude, he's seen some things.
He probably has.
Savannah or Atwood, what y'all got?
Atwood, you go ahead.
I'm going to say Plumber Boy keeps it under 21.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna have to go opposite of y'all. I think that MT's gonna cover this spread.
Extra.
They've had a big spot to fill because Stockstill is finally gone. He's been at MTSU for what feels like 8 years. So they had to replace him this year. This is their first time trying out a new quarterback. Was last week. O'Hara, I think is his name. Yeah, I don't know his first name. But last week, he didn't do bad. He was 22 out of 32. Had 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It wasn't bad stats. So I think that he'll come out and this will be another shitty opponent like they had last week. He'll be able to run that score up again.
Was that a pun towards the quarterback?
Yep. For sure.
Hey, well, I thought that quarterback, like, anytime his big O-line, I know they used to be stopping up toilets. Maybe that's where he got his practice from.
Oh, God.
Having to clean it up. But, all jokes aside, MTSU will probably be playing with heavy hearts because one of their former players and a former coworker of mine passed away, so they'll be playing for him this week. So, R.I.P. for sure. Moving on, Savannah.
Before we move on, I have one special request. Can we keep up with the plumber quarterback?
Yeah.
Dude.
The plumber quarterback all year?
We just need like a dedicated update section for him every week.
Alright, definitely.
He is now my inspiration.
Dude, if he makes the NFL, I'll be a day one. Like, I mean, no one
I'll quit my job and start being a plumber. Then I might get a call.
I'm gonna become one of his stands if he does well, if he gets to the NFL.
I wish I was a Heisman voter just so I could give him a vote.
Just off the story.
Yeah, just they'd ask like, "Who is this guy?" and be like, "Former plumber. He's the real MVP." The people that don't get the calls. All right. So now, what's the next game?
Next game is an important one. It's the national champions versus the Lane Train. We have number 18, UCF, is playing at FAU. UCF is favored by 10.5 points.
Well, I mean, FAU always, they probably got a lot of people coming in for this game. It's Boca Raton, so you know that UCF living in Orlando, that they do not have the nice beach that Boca does, so that would be an intimidation factor.
I'm so intimidated by the beach. Damn.
You love to see it.
Oh, are they even going to be able to play it there? Because,
Ooh.
like, the hurricane?
I didn't think about that.
Dude, that hurricane's moving at like 5 miles an hour.
I was about to say, I think it's still like near the Bahamas. Like, yeah, it stayed at the Bahamas for a while. Fuck them
I
all
didn't
the
know
way
where
up.
it was yet.
But I don't know if it's like made it to Florida yet. I haven't seen anything about that.
Last I heard, it had hit the Bahamas and done really bad damage and killed like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then it just was like hanging out in the ocean. It had like the storm literally stopped, like it wasn't moving. Last I heard.
It's already up pretty high.
So
Well,
they should be able to play it. I would
I'd
think.
say they'd be able to. I haven't heard anything anyways otherwise. So,
I'm gonna take UCF.
alright.
I'll also take UCF, but I think it'll be pretty close, actually.
I'm using my strategy of talent beats hard work.
Well, I mean, the only reason FAU has a chance is because of Lane Kiffin. I mean,
Yeah.
his charisma and personality, frankly, it's enough to kind of carry the team on his back.
Who you
See,
got,
last
Kyle?
year I doubted UCF all year, thinking it was overrated, and they kind of showed which they didn't play anybody that great, but when they did play people, they won. So I'm actually go with them this year. I'm gonna rock the UCF train.
Go off.
Okay, well, you know I gotta go Lane Train. I'm sorry. It's Conference USA, baby.
Lane Train's about to get a train ran on it.
No,
Oh.
Lane Train, he said you're coming to our house, we're gonna beat your ass. That's what he said.
Atwood.
That's a
Atwood,
direct
you
quote.
gotta save that stuff for the USC.
UCF is currently undefeated in Florida. Week 1 they played Florida A&M, the Rattlers, and beat them 62-0. Sure, that team is not good at all, but to drop 62 is disrespect. So maybe Florida Atlantic will be slightly nervous.
It'll probably be 56 and
Nah.
Uh,
If UCF wins, it's by a field goal.
Oh, boo!
Bet.
Hey, but then next
Hey.
week we'll see how good UCF really is because they play Stanford next week.
Who plays Stanford next week?
UCF.
That's crazy. You don't think FAU is gonna lose by a field, or if UCF wins, you don't think it's gonna be by a field goal?
What you mean?
Yeah, if
Is that not what Savannah said?
I said if UCF wins, it'll just be by a field goal.
No, it'd be by they win by about 11 field goals, 33 at least.
They're only a
Is the
10.5 point favorite. I think you guys are overestimating UCF and underestimating FAU.
No,
Well, that's
it's
what- I basically have the same pick as Savannah, I think. I mean, I picked...
He said that they barely will win.
Yeah, I said UCF barely win.
I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm just picking FAU because I want all y'all to be wrong and I want to be right. So, that's
Well,
it. Sorry
I'm
about
going
it.
to have to pull a quote from my boy, Tyler Huntley. But, FAU, they poo-poo.
Shut the hell up.
They some poo-poo.
Alright, y'all ready for the next game?
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
Alright, we have number 23 ranked Stanford is playing at USC, who's a 1 point favorite. It's supposed to be a pretty tight game.
Nice.
Do we know what time this game is being played?
I'm thinking it's going to be at about 2:37. There's going to be a light breeze
It's actually at 9:30.
in the morning.
No, it's not. Well,
Our time or their time? Because that's going to be like...
our time.
Okay.
Okay.
It's Pac-12 after dark, baby. But, it would have made a lot of difference if it was the time, because we all know that sometimes morning wood just does what it wants with the trees. But when it comes to night and you make better decisions, the Trojans are usually able to stop almost any threat. So the Trojan will hold strong and contain any problem that the hardwood provides. So USC with a big win. Okay.
So you basically saying USC is gonna wrap up the trunks and shut it down?
Essentially.
All right, who y'all got?
So, you know, I have a feeling that UCF, I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about the lane train. USC, rather, they finna bust it open.
Okay.
They about to bust it wide open. I'm looking at this ESPN probability matchup predictor here.
Yeah.
USC, guess what percentage they have to win? I'll give you a hint. It's in the 60s.
69.
No, it's actually 61. But that would have been funny. Anyway, I picked USC. I'm in the
69 now.
You were such a tool for that one.
I mean, okay. Well, all puns aside, I'm kind of surprised USC isn't ranked. I mean, they're 1-0. From what I understand, they have a pretty good team this year. I mean, and plus it's USC. So
Yeah.
Here's the big problem, guys. I usually never analyze USC games, but here is the big problem.
Big problem.
Their quarterback is out. He's injured for the entire season.
Well, hey, that's how
Was he the one
Peyton
who
Manning
just
got
got
his
hurt
start.
against Fresno?
So what?
Was he the one who just got hurt last week against Fresno?
Yeah.
I got you. That was a very lackluster game. It was just so boring.
He tore his ACL and meniscus.
Oof.
Ooh. That's a big oof. Impressive.
And their new quarterback, most of his scholarship offers came from Group of 5 programs. And his high school, his senior year, they went 3-7. So I don't know that he's
How
got
the
the
hell
talent.
did this man get recruited on a 3-7 team to USC?
I mean, he could have been putting up great numbers, but his defense could have been poo poo.
There was some poo-poo.
I'm guessing it's because his former offensive coordinator in high school was Kurt Warner. Dude, this guy has a weird story, but
He has connections.
yeah, he's got connections. That's it.
Gotcha.
Did Kurt Warner go to USC?
I think that's a good question, actually. I don't
I
remember.
feel like he went to a small school because didn't he have a story of like he was a grocery bagger before he got
Yeah.
called for the Rams?
He played college at Northern Iowa, so yeah, he was at a small school.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So anyway, so who hasn't gone?
No, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let's see. Out of this one, you know, Trojans are strong and handy, but sometimes they do rip.
Oh,
And I think there's going to be a rip this week in the Trojans defense.
will the Trojans bust it open, or will they be busted open? Tune in to see. Find out next week.
After this, it's gonna be a throwback to FAU. After this, after Savannah makes her pick, but I heard a theory and that just reminded me of it. So Savannah, you make your pick first.
Wow, way to throw me off and rush me, bitch. Anyways, I think that USC is going to want to penetrate the top 25 again.
As we all do.
You know, we all want to. They're gonna have a good come up story with that little quarterback that went 3-7 in high school. He's gonna come out
And go 4-6 this year.
that boy that went 3-7 the next year, he went 4-6. No, I'm just kidding. I seriously think he's going to be wanting to prove himself, you know. He's like, man, I dealt with shitty teams in my high school career. I'm like a good player. Obviously, I got recruited to USC. This is my time to play with a good team. And I think he'll be on with them. And they're going to beat the trees.
You know how USC would go undefeated? If they had my boy the plumber.
Shut the hell up.
He would stop any problems.
The plumber didn't go 3-7.
He's undefeated against toilets. He can unclog any holes.
Wes, did you pick USC?
I did, yeah.
I'll save my Lane Kiffin theory until the very end.
Sounds good.
What's the next game?
Third game, we have number 12, Texas A&M is playing at Clemson, who's a 17.5-point favorite. Clemson is ranked number 1.
Yeah, you didn't even put the ranking down.
I did not write that down. Nope.
I
guess it was just kind of obvious, you know what I'm saying?
It's a throwback to what Wes said last year. But, Dabo wins, baby. Dabo wins.
He just wins. That's all he does.
The SEC, they proved against Georgia State that it always just does not mean more. That might be the motto, but last Saturday it just meant more for Georgia State. And
I was going to say, after Tennessee's loss, you can't really say SEC means more.
And it's just going to mean more to Clemson. Clemson big.
Let's not bring Tennessee into this.
Who you got, Wes?
Who do I have?
Yeah.
I mean, look, Dabo does one thing. He does one thing, folks. That's it. And he's great. We love him. Dabo wins. I'm going to say, let's see. I don't think it'll be quite as bad as a 17.5-point difference.
That's pretty steep.
For a number 12 team, that's pretty steep.
It's pretty steep. I mean, Clemson's very good. I don't think they'll lose during the regular season. I would be shocked if they did. But, yeah, I still think they win by like 10.
Who you got, Tyler?
Well, I wasn't on here on the first week, but we were talking before the podcast. I said I ain't even need to pick a top 4 because my number 1 is the man himself, Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh.
He is a football god himself already. So he will cruise his team to an easy victory while maintaining a luscious flow on the field.
the most important thing.
That's all that matters, honestly.
Yeah.
So I got Clemson. I say Clemson's either going to be right at the spread or a little over.
Okay. That's pretty steep, though, still.
I think that Clemson wins by at least 2 touchdowns. This is just another notch for them moving to the playoffs. Except, hear me out, they're going to lose in the ACC championship. To guess who? Guess who they going to lose to? The
Canes.
The Canes.
They some poo-poo.
Well, you're a Tennessee fan, am I correct?
Yes, you are too.
Okay, let me just. I don't claim them right. No, I don't claim them right now. Let's just check what their score is.
At my worst,
I got it. You know how, like, on the start of the U, how they, like, Savannah was doing, how they're like, the U.
Mm-hmm.
We need to remix it to be like, they poo-poo.
Shut the hell up.
Alright, what about the Tennessee fan, Savannah?
Oh, I said we'll just check their score versus Florida to compare the two.
Are you talking about this year?
Yes.
Oh.
You want to bring up my loss to? If you want to bring up our loss to Florida.
Savannah said, I just want to talk. I honestly just want to talk.
Pull up on me. Pull up on me.
Alright, what's next before we get an assault case on you?
Okay, anyways, up next is our game of the week. College Game Day will be there.
Whoa, you left out an important game.
No, we didn't. We did that first.
Hellworld, baby.
I thought we said we were talking about that Friday night.
Yeah, well, Wes picked them.
They ain't never gonna beat us. They poop.
Okay. Anyways, BYU and Tennessee play. Who y'all got?
BYU, 100%.
BYU. I mean, that's obvious as shit to me. I know that Tennessee's favored, but like, I don't know why the hell they are.
Yeah, BYU lost, but honestly, if you go 11-1, you can maybe still make the championship game. So we'll take
I don't
it.
see them going 11-1 because that means they got to beat Alabama, Georgia.
So
No,
No.
BYU.
BYU.
Oh, okay. I was like, y'all. But
hold up. So BYU hasn't played anybody yet, correct?
No, they
played
lost to
last week.
Utah.
Yeah. Last week was their first ranked opponent, and they lost.
Okay, so I was a little off. They're not going to lose the rest of the season. Fact.
But the issue
I
is
think they
that
play USC.
they only play like 2 ranked opponents is the issue. So it's gonna not look good even if they go 11-1. That one of their losses was to one of the ranked teams that they play all season.
They play USC next week.
So okay, well next week that'll be showtime. They'll tell us.
Y'all trying to go?
Hey, neither one of those.
Yeah,
close.
let me just catch a flight real quick.
We could get tickets for $20 a piece.
All right,
The
that's a
plane
deal.
ticket would be more than that.
Worth it. Worth it.
Where's it at? Is it in Southern California?
It's in Utah.
Well, that's still about what, $500 flight.
Probably. I ain't going.
$500 flight. Is it a $20 game?
I would
Worth it.
almost. I would almost bet money that I'll never attend a BYU game. Like, I'd be willing to bet money on that. In my lifetime, I'll probably never go to a BYU game.
We're going to one next year just because you said that.
Y'all know what game I've always wanted to go
Can't-
to is
can't force
USC
it.
Notre Dame. Yeah,
Oh, the Trojans versus the Catholic Boy Touchers.
that would be a fun game to go to.
That's the best game to pick of the year. That's my favorite game to pick.
Oh,
All right,
that's Brian's squad right there. We love it.
what's the last game?
Anyways, now we'll move
listen.
on.
I feel like with all this Jeffrey Epstein shit, we really can't even pick Notre Dame anymore. It's just there's too much there. It's too real now. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Alright, last game, college game day. I already said this, but anyways. Number 6 LSU is playing at number 9 Texas. LSU is favored by 6.5 points.
Well, considering they don't even know how to spell the word "go" correctly, I'm gonna take.
Texas?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Big 12 to win this game. Texas. My boy Sam Ellinger also has a good story. I'm not gonna say it just because I'll get flamed for any time that I give details into a QB's life. Flamed. So, hook 'em horns. But not when they play the Horned Frogs.
Okay.
They were horny toads. Alright, here you go, Wes.
I'm actually going to agree with Ryan. I think that Texas pulls this one out. I don't know. I like Texas quarterback. Like, I was watching some of his highlights from last year. He's really talented, actually. Like, Texas is surprisingly good. And I don't know, just like LSU. I don't know. Every time I watch an LSU game, it just bores me to tears. I get a bad vibe, very bad vibes. So I'm gonna go with Texas. I just don't think that LSU can keep pace with, Texas in terms of scoring. So I'll still say it's close because LSU always has a good defense. And I don't know. I'd say Texas wins 5. I don't know. 6.
Alright, who you got, Tyler?
I'm going to go with a pick that is strictly got nothing to do with football. But when you have a motivational speaker, and then as much as an impactful man as Texas has, as
Hell
Matthew
yeah.
McConaughey,
Hell yeah.
Hey, he's teaching at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga.
how you not gonna go with the
I just saw
Longhorns?
UT, but is it UT Chat?
I don't know.
I thought he was at Texas.
Oh.
Somebody said UT Chat, and then I saw someone else say Texas, which makes more
No,
sense.
he's like a philosophy teacher in Texas.
Okay.
Okay, well, Savannah
No,
had
someone's-
mentioned it, so that's why I was...
Someone said he was teaching at UT Chat, and I was like, I mean, go off, I guess, but
No, it is Texas. My bad, pod listeners.
He's gonna roll up in his Cadillac, picking his boogers like he does in the commercial.
He's just gonna be staring off into the distance, just like saying things like
wow.
he'll be saying like the whole class.
Wow.
Yeah, like Atwood said. So he's gonna pull up in the Cadillac. He'll get out, get in the classroom, and the whole hour and a half lecture will just be him staring off into the distance, saying things like, "Yeah, that's success. When you want it, that's when good things happen."
And all the sorority girls, because let's be real, it's just going to be sorority girls that have crushes on them. That's going to be in the classrooms, and they're just going to be saying, that is a smart man. And
Yeah.
that's goals. And I oop. I'm sorry.
all the all the like women in the class are like, yep, like paying really close attention. Just the guys are like, I don't get it.
I feel like Matthew McConaughey, though, is one of those speakers, like, he could sit there and, like, honestly look at a turd and be like, that's delicious, and have you sitting in class be like, that might actually be delicious.
He could, Matthew McConaughey, he's like, what is he like? He's like a good-looking, sleazy car salesman. You know what I mean? he's like sleazy car salesman, if good-looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
What's
I don't
funny is
know.
he also, like, if he wasn't a celebrity, you would almost see him as, like, an alcoholic dude, though. Like if he didn't have money, I don't know that he's that attractive.
Oh, he's cute.
I disagree with that, actually.
Cute.
I mean, he's a Mick Jagger. Come on now. Give him credit.
My man looked good.
I don't know.
Is McConaughey canceled?
Slightly.
I don't see how. Did you not see him? He fought for our country in, dang, I forgot the name of that.
Free State of Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, that was actually a good movie. I liked it.
So you better respect Matthew McConaughey. He was one of our troops.
Or at least, like, a troop for the short-lived independent state.
Dude, and he also went to outer space.
It's true. He's like Johnny Cash. He's been everywhere. So.
Oh, alright, let me give y'all my FAU theory.
Well, Savannah's got a pick. You jackass.
Oh, well, she had went into another room, so that's why I didn't even know that she hadn't picked yet.
No, you just don't give a damn about me.
Alright, so who you got?
Hook 'em.
Ooh.
That's all she said. She walked
Did
away.
anybody pick LSU?
No.
I don't think so. Wow.
Tigers suck.
The PodBois reached consensus.
Basically, the PodBois don't agree with the mainstream media that the SEC just means more.
The lying media.
Maybe we're canceled.
Matthew McConaughey is a man of the people. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I've got my top two now. And it's not even teams, it's just people. It's Trevor Lawrence, Matthew McConaughey. That's how number 1 and 2 is going to finish out the season.
We love it.
It's not Clemson in Texas, it's Trevor Lawrence, Matthew McConaughey.
I can get behind that.
We're gonna blow up someday, and ESPN's gonna want to sign us, and then they're gonna go back and listen and be like, "Actually, we can't do it, guys. They hate the SEC.
Yeah.
All they do is make fun of the SEC. We can't pick them up."
And the bad part is, we all like an SEC school.
I was about to say,
I don't.
I
Oh, I'm sorry.
She
You're the degenerate of the group.
See, here's
Oh,
the
okay.
thing.
But I like the Christian school. Satan.
You Satan.
You Satan.
So, but here's the thing. Like, you joke, but okay, honestly, if that one girl from Twitter can get a podcast with Barstool Sports, like, I feel like we're not that much. I feel like we're not much less talented than she is, to be entirely honest with you.
If Clay Travis can blow up from pudding, anyone can do it. Okay, anyone can do it.
You know, like, internet fame is one of those things where it's like, it's not technically hard to do. It's just rare that it ever happens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like winning the lottery. I mean, it's not hard to.
It's just like, well, did you happen to tweet this at the right time, and, you know, just the right wording so that people connect with it or whatever? Or, like in the old days, you would have to pull a stunt, like, you know, eating pudding for a week or whatever. But, I don't know. I stand.
Alright, guys, here's my FAU theory, real quick. Alright, so Lane Kiffin is going to make FAU maybe the greatest school in the history of schools in about 18 years. He went to FAU because he's trying to stay at a school that has a number of semi-attractive women, and he's going to just field an entire team of his own kids.
That's sus.
I read this theory on Reddit where all things are true. And, I mean, maybe he does it. He trains them all up to run his...
Lane Kiffin turns into some kind of, like, Middle Ages lord who just controls the fief of... Where is that? Where is FAU?
Boca Raton in Florida.
what?
It's in Boca Raton in Florida.
Yeah, so he just kind of takes over
But like,
the city of Boca Raton as like a feudal lord, and he pretty much...
He runs them.
Isn't Boca Raton known for like being a retirement place?
Kinda. It's where they do different owners
Like,
and conventions will do, like, they'll have sports conventions there and stuff.
I've always heard jokes about like retiring to Boca.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Well, I mean, that's also kind of the state of Florida. I mean, it's like, in Florida you have these really gated off communities, like, for instance, Boca Raton, that are, you know, they're suburbs or they're exurbs, and they're completely separate from any large metropolitan area. And you can just see, like, the effects of you know, like, upper middle class white families who moved out of the city in the 50s and 60s. And those areas are just all old retired people because they're just like coasting off of generational wealth. So you have that, you have the retirement home, and then you also have like all the stuff you see in the headlines about Florida man, you know, like wrestling a gator on meth. But it's because they live in the cities where there's, you know, less access to, like, you know, good nutrition, and it's more dangerous, and all that sort of thing. So that's why Florida is so insane in so many ways.
I'm getting my information from a totally different, like, I was not looking at it from that aspect. It was just like, I used to watch The Nanny. I still stand Fran Drescher.
Yeah, we always stand.
But she, like, on The Nanny, they would always joke about her mom retiring to Boca. And which, like, they obviously are, like, heavy on the Jewish jokes in that show. Because they're playing Jewish characters. But, like, they make lots of jokes about Jewish people, all old Jewish people retiring to Boca. So, I don't know if that's true at all.
Probably, like, the more well-off, yeah.
well, I think that about wraps it up.
Is that it?
Well, yeah, that's all the games we got.
We did it.
Yeah, we made it. If you enjoyed our cold open, please let us know because we're beginners. And Wes was trolling TF out of me. So.
No, I was not.
At W Dunbar 06 and tell him he's a POS.
Well, actually, that account is locked, and I'm not giving away my alt account. So
I'll tell y'all his alt account. Don't worry.
Please don't do it.
I'm just kidding.
Any employer of Wes, fire him right now.
There's really no downside to do all practice because there's no really identifying information that they know is.
Something's wrong with your sound, Wes. Something's wrong with your sound.
Oh, well, I think that wraps it up anyway.
Well, anyways, this pod was brought to you by Savannah's Southern Scents. Buy some soap and some candles. Our soap has the most suds, and it's the best smelling, and our candles will literally burn for 30 hours. I don't know if that's true. Don't take me for that.
Yeah, you're going to give us a lawsuit. Dang.
Yeah, they're going to lawsuit a business that's not even an organized business. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Alright, well, we out here. Bye, boys.
Bye.